You know what you are? Just trash. A bottle of whiskey for courage and the manners of a goat.
You're the one that could use a lesson in manners.
Let go of me! What are you doing?
John Wayne and Clint Eastwood, two of the biggest legends in Western cinema. You'd think they would have made a movie together, right? Well, they almost did. But when Eastwood extended an olive branch, Wayne fired back with both barrels, rejecting the offer with an insult-laden letter. And the film that set him off? High Plains Drifter. This wasn't just any Western. It was Eastwood's second directorial effort, his first Western as a director, and a bold departure from the traditional Hollywood cowboy flick. The film was dark, violent, and, according to Wayne, completely un-American. But was it? Or was it just a different kind of Western, one that challenged the old myths? Let's break it down. High Plains Drifter hit theaters in 1973, starring Eastwood as the Stranger, a mysterious gunslinger who rides into the corrupt mining town of Lago. He doesn't say a word for the first 7 minutes, but his presence alone is enough to make the townsfolk uneasy. When 3 hired guns try to intimidate him, he takes them out effortlessly, establishing himself as a force to be reckoned with. The people of Lago are desperate. They need protection from 3 outlaws, Stacy Bridges and the Carlin brothers, who are returning to settle a score. So they offer the Stranger anything he wants in exchange for his help. He takes full advantage, turning the town into his personal playground. He appoints a little person, Mordecai, as both sheriff and mayor, forces free drinks at the saloon, and even has every building painted blood red before renaming the town Hell. As the Stranger prepares the town for battle, we begin to uncover a dark secret. Years earlier, Marshal Jim Duncan, played by Eastwood's longtime stunt double buddy Van Horn, was brutally whipped to death in the center of Lago. And the townspeople? They just watched. Duncan had discovered that their gold mine was on government land, which meant their riches were illegal. To protect their secret, they arranged for him to be murdered, then betrayed the outlaws they hired to do the job. But here's where things get eerie. Is the Stranger Duncan's avenging brother, or is he Duncan himself, back from the dead? Eastwood intentionally leaves it ambiguous. The character has no name, and in the final scene, Mordecai is seen engraving a headstone for Duncan when the Stranger passes by. When Mordecai says, "I never did know your name," the Stranger replies, "Yes, you do," before vanishing into the desert heat. It's a ghost story disguised as a Western. The film's production was as unconventional as its storyline. Universal Pictures wanted to shoot on a studio lot, but Eastwood had an entire town built on the shores of Mono Lake in California. A 46-man crew worked 10-hour days for 18 days to construct 14 buildings, including a 2-story hotel, only to burn it all down after filming. Editing was even done in a log cabin near the lake, adding to the film's raw, isolated feel. Another unusual choice. The movie was shot in sequence, meaning the scenes were filmed in the exact order they appear in the movie. This is rarely done in Hollywood, but Eastwood, known for his efficient directing style, pulled it off smoothly. The film wrapped 2 days ahead of schedule and under budget. The cinematography plays a huge role in the film's haunting atmosphere. The town's color changes throughout the day, creating a dreamlike quality. Eastwood also used surreal dream sequences and an eerie score by D. Barton, making High Plains Drifter feel almost like a horror film at times. But not everyone appreciated Eastwood's vision, especially John Wayne. Shortly after the film's release, Eastwood reached out to Wayne with a script for The Hostiles, a Western that would have paired them together. Wayne not only rejected the project, but also sent Eastwood a scathing letter, criticizing High Plains Drifter for its brutal violence and bleak portrayal of the West. In Wayne's eyes, Westerns were about heroes, morality, and the noble pioneers who built America. Eastwood's film, with its morally ambiguous protagonist and depiction of a cowardly, corrupt town, was an insult to everything he believed in. Wayne's son later recalled an even harsher rejection. While sailing, he handed his father a revised version of the script, hoping Wayne would reconsider. The Duke took one look at it, grumbled, "This piece of shh," again, and threw it overboard. And just like that, any chance of a Wayne-Eastwood collaboration was gone. But Eastwood wasn't trying to make a John Wayne movie. He was inspired by the films of Sergio Leone and Don Siegel, who had taught him that Westerns could be more than just good guys versus bad guys. They could explore themes of justice, retribution, and the weight of past sins. In fact, High Plains Drifter was partially inspired by the real-life murder of Kitty Genovese, a New York woman who was attacked while 38 people supposedly did nothing to help. The incident, though later revealed to be misreported, sparked the psychological concept of the bystander effect. Eastwood saw Lago as a town full of bystanders who allowed an innocent man to be killed, and the stranger as the embodiment of justice coming to make them pay. Despite the controversy, the film was a box office hit, ranking as one of the highest-grossing Westerns of the 1970s. Critics were divided. Some praised Eastwood's bold direction, while others accused him of simply imitating Leone and Siegel. But over time, the film has cemented itself as a classic, thanks to its unique blend of Western tropes and supernatural elements. One fun fact, if you look closely in the town cemetery, you'll see tombstones with the names Sergio Leone and Don Siegel, a cheeky tribute to Eastwood's mentors. He once joked, "I like to bury my directors." In many ways, High Plains Drifter was a precursor to Eastwood's later Westerns, especially Pale Rider and Unforgiven, which continued to explore the blurred lines between heroism and vengeance. It was also proof that he wasn't just an actor. He was a filmmaker with a vision, willing to take risks that even Hollywood's biggest legends wouldn't dare touch. And as for John Wayne, he stuck to his guns, literally and figuratively, never deviating from his traditional view of the West. The two icons remained on opposite sides of the genre, never sharing the screen. Now it's time to hear from you. Do you think John Wayne was right to reject High Plains Drifter? Or did Eastwood's take on the Western genre push it in the right direction? Let us know in the comments.